Hey guys, my name is Stuart or Codenamebigbear if you want to find me on Xbox Live. So we're doing a Games for Gold review today, starting with Gears of War 4. Let's see how this game holds up, especially in the run-up to Gears 5. Let's do this. So the story of Gears of War 4 is set 25 years after Gears of War 3, so after the locusts have been utterly eradicated with the technology that Marcus used. I can't remember the name of it. Sorry about that, guys. But basically, we're following Marcus's son JD. He's with his friend Dell. They seem to have gone AWOL from the COG and decided to live with the outsiders. You know, kind of live like hermits outside of that. For some reason, they're being chased down by robots. Well, I say some reason they're infiltrating straight away. Part of the robot army that the COG has produced, but they're being chased by those, and things go wrong. They have to go see Marcus, and from that point onwards, it starts to feeling like Gears of War again. Kinda. Once we get past all the robots coming in, we actually start seeing a swarm, the new enemy that is in Gears of War 4. Very much like the Locust, but also very different. They seem, they seem more fleshy, I suppose, is pretty much the best way to put it. But no, that's so the story goes on like that, and it goes through. I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I know this game's been out for a while, but I just don't want to spoil it. But it's quite cool. It's a decent story. It's nothing kind of on the same level as the Gears of War 2 and 3 games were. It's kind of more Judgment level, I suppose. A lot of people didn't really enjoy the story of that, because it seemed to be world building, but Judgment didn't need to world build, but this is kind of doing it, obviously for good reason. But I kind of like that. I actually do like that. The fact that you can just sit and play Gears of War 4 straight away and not really be lost in the world, because you're kind of learning with everyone else, and you can continue on this new trilogy that's happening. But as a result, is probably one of the weaker elements when it comes to Gears of War. Sadly, I could say the story is usually very, very good. But for Gears of War 4, this is probably one of the weaker ones. It's not his fault. It's re-establishing world. It's reintroducing characters. It's sorting the world out for you, making sure you understand. It's world building. That's what I was looking for. So as a result, I'm probably going to give this section probably about a 6 or a 7. Let's go 6.5. Let's just be sure with that one. Presentation of this game looks stunning. It's a really, really good looking game. The bright colors that they use in the reds, the blues, and the greens really separates it from the original trilogy of Gears of War. It makes it kind of stand out as its own. It also kind of sees that the world of Sarah has actually started to replenish itself once the locusts have gone, which is kind of cool, which is really nice to see. I don't know about you, but I think that sometimes when the Unreal Engine comes in, everything kind of looks cartoony without meaning to, I suppose. I know the Unreal Engine was used for the original Gears of War games, but I always felt they were more visceral than these later games, because it just seemed less cartoony. I don't know if that makes any sense. It's kind of got this weird sheen across everything. Everything's very, very shiny in this game, which is good, I suppose, if you like that. For me, it brings it down a little bit. It's a bit of a shame. But the lighting in this game, again, we end up underground. We end up fighting alongside fire, whilst a big old elevator lift thing is crashing down, and there's sparks and flames going off. And it looks very, very cool. There's some amazing set pieces in this game. When you, again, back to the elevator with the cables, it's just a really, really good looking game. I can't really fault it for that at all. So on presentation, I think 8 is a perfect score for this one right now. So if you've watched my Gears of War 5 tech test demo, I talk about the sound in that game, and saying how there wasn't really much examples to kind of go in with. To be honest, when it comes to Gears 5, I'm expecting more of the same from Gears of War 4 here. The chainsaws just sound amazing, the guns sound amazing, the voice acting is always very, very good. I don't think I've ever come across a bad voice actor in any of these games. I mean, the closest one is probably Carmine, But even then, he's supposed to be that kind of, his voice is breaking young cadet, I guess. At least that's how I've always seen it. But the voice acting is very, very good in this game. So the sound, the general world building. Once the weather comes in, you can hear all the wind kind of crashing things around. If you have surround sound, it just works really, really well. It's just, yeah, you can't really fault it. They've been doing this for a long time now, and a few members of the team from the original game have moved on. And if they haven't learned how to build a world full of sound, then it's kind of foolish. But I'm going to give it a solid 9 right here. Mainly because, yeah, well, again, I can't really fault it. So a 9 is what's getting. Gameplay is very, very important in games, as I'm sure you're probably aware. If the game doesn't play well, it's not going to be any good to play, no fun to play. Thankfully, Gears of War 4 is very fun to play. If you played a Gears of War game, you know it's cover-based shooting. They pretty much made it famous. They didn't invent it, but they made it famous. Chest-high walls, popping out using your chainsaw lancer when you can, sniping from afar. You get the idea. It is a shooter after all. There's not really much I can say about it other than, if you've never played these games before, you're going to die quite a lot, and you're also going to be shocked at how much of a bullet sponge the enemies can be as well. So my advice to you is stay in cover, shoot from cover, hide. Best thing I can do for you on that one, I'm afraid. But the game is really, really cool. Obviously, you will go behind one chest-high wall, shoot your guy, move on to the next part. It's kind of very basic. They've got it down. They've been making these games for a long, long time now. If they haven't nailed this, or by now, something has gone horribly wrong. But mainly, it's about the story. It's what you want. The story is what makes you play these games, and the gameplay is solid enough and easy enough for you to get into, so you know how to do that. So I'm going to give the gameplay, it's got to be an 8. It's got to be an 8. I would give it something a bit more, but it does change from game to game, so it's just going to be an 8 from me on that one. Gears of War 4, of course, has multiplayer. It has Team Deathmatch, has Wingman, King of the Hill, Horde mode. It doesn't have the Overrun mode from Gears of War Judgment, which is a massive shame as far as I'm concerned. But it's got some really, really cool stuff going there. Some extra longevity, extra replayability. The fact the story has a co-op campaign, which is great. It means you can just play with your friends whilst playing through the campaign and just having fun that way. You can obviously play Team Deathmatch and Horde with other people, and Horde is always good fun. It's 50 waves or 25 waves, depending if you play Horde Light, of just constant beasts coming at you, and with a boss wave every 10 levels. Which is quite good fun. There are kind of like bonus points for completing it if you have the correct cards. Say you got a soldier card, soldier survival, level 1 through 50 on Horde, you get 500 credits because of it. This is kind of cool. I like that. I like the idea of having in-game bonuses kind of happen, but I don't like how you obtain those. For instance, it is essentially loot boxes. You buy your loot box. You buy a particular Horde pack using 500 gold coins that you get in game through playing so many times, leveling up, that sort of thing. But you can also use in-game money to do that as well. That's something I don't like, but I don't see that going away anytime soon, so I'm not going to touch on it anymore. Besides the scrap is a joke. To level up some cards for Horde, to level up your Horde squad-based character, you have to use scrap, and that basically means getting your cards, destroying the cards for scrap, and using that scrap to spend money. I said scrap way too many times. Doesn't sound like a word to me anymore. But it's just awful. Honestly, I stopped playing Gears of War 4 once I realised that was in. I stopped for about a year or so solid. I did not touch the game at all. It wasn't until recently that we started getting back into it. Once Gears of War 5 was announced, I started playing that again. So with the extras, with that multiplayer and all that, I'm actually going to give this a solid 8. This is just, again, they've been doing it for so long. The lobbies are always relatively quick. There's easy navigation through those menus to get those. The only complication is the customization of the characters, which kind of brings the score down because that can be a bit finicky here and there as well. So a solid 8 for the extras on this game. So those Easter eggs I mentioned, these are really cool. I've been kind of mucking about with Gears of War and looking into it a little bit, and I found these, so I found them myself to show you what these are. I'm going to show you 3. The first one is very, very simple. As you can see on the screen where we are right now, you can see we're going very, very fast. I've actually sped it up a little bit. But once you get to this room, you can see the piano. Go press X on the piano and you'll get a little piano tune from Gears of War 1, I believe it is. Might be 3. The second Easter egg I'm going to show you is a golden lancer that slows down time every time you fire. This is awesome. It's so much fun. It is a pain in the butt to get though. So basically you get to this room here. If you can't see it, it's in the second chapter, I believe it is. I can never remember the chapters these things are in. But you get to this room here. If you play the campaign, you'll know this. And you've got to find this skull. It's actually, as you enter the room, to your left on the shelves, essentially. You've got to shoot that skull all the way to the opposite side of the room and make it touch the gate. That can take some time. Obviously, clear the room first. You know, don't be doing this whilst you're fighting. That's just a silly idea. But once that skull touches the gate, as you can see here, this golden shotgun appears. And it's really, really fun. I'm just going to shut up and show you what it does.
Mine somehow.
Maybe.
Why can't it be both?
And a third Easter egg I'm going to show you is pretty early in the game, not long after you got the piano one actually. These are known as Toms. These are grenades that are essentially tomatoes. You get this by heading into the greenhouse right where I am now. You clear out the room and you shoot every single tomato plant you can find. Some of them are a little bit hidden in the dark, so you have a look on top of the shelves and all that and shoot them all. And as soon as you shoot them, you will honestly hear the most profanity-filled thing Marcus has ever said, and it's basically going on about how it's tomato. Do you know what? Just listen. Just listen.
How long I've worked on this fucking house alone? You know what it's like being a fucking hermit? Fixing a house? There's no Home Depot out here, you fucking assholes. Fucking tomatoes. They fucked my tomatoes up! God damn it! Add that to the fucking list. God damn it! Those are Doms, for Christ's sakes. I grew those from Dom seeds. Fuck! Those are Dom's goddamn seeds, for Christ's sakes. I'm never gonna have a fucking good sauce again. I can't make Dom sauce. Fuck you guys. It's bullshit. Fucking Damon Baird, you're a cock. Mine.
And these tomatoes, they're not actually majorly powerful, about the same as a normal grenade, but they just shower blood everywhere. As you can see during this clip here, I'm just throwing it at some robots and going from there, really. It's really good fun. If you hold on to those and get the next Easter egg I mentioned right at the beginning of this episode, you actually get an achievement in memoriam to Dom. I can't remember what the achievement's called, but it's a very, very cool Easter egg that you definitely should look for yourself. Basically, go to the graveyard. It's the only graveyard in the entire game, and you have to find 4 headstones marked M-A, R, I, and A. So Maria, essentially. Shoot them in order on Insane, and a thick fog is going to appear and wipe out the entire area. You can do this very, very quickly. And then you're going to have about 2 minutes or so with a lovely, lovely reference to Gears of War 2, and then you get a kick-ass bolt-off pistol that one-shots everything. I really, really think you should do this yourself. I will show you this if you request it enough in the comments, but check it out yourself. It's really, really cool, definitely worth looking into. So overall, Gears of War 4 is just a genuinely great game. If you've never played a Gears of War game before, just start here, you may as well, especially with Gears of War 5 coming out very, very soon. It's just a really cool playthrough. There's a really good story going on. There's some really great characters as well. Yes, there are some downsides, but I honestly struggled to find those downsides, if I'm being honest. But as you may have heard throughout the entire review, I've been giving this game some numbers for certain things, for story, for sound, for gameplay, and extras on presentation as well. And it's actually averaged out to 7.9. So that's what I'm going to give this game, a 7.9. Right guys, let us know what you think of Gears of War 4 in the comments below. Also, if you think we can improve on anything, please let us know as well. Yeah, be nice about it. It'd be really, really cool. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Find us on social media. We have our own website. You can see some really cool videos, have some really cool articles as well at respawning.co.uk. And if you want to help us out, in any way, shape, or form, which would be much appreciated, find us on Patreon at patreon.com/respawning. Have a great day, guys, and don't forget to be nice to each other, yeah?